Welcome to Regular Veteran. My name's Scott. Guest starring today is Danny. We are on our way to Captain Marvel. It's starring Brie Larson. Brie Larson. I know that it takes place in the past. It's supposed to be like in the 80s or 90s, but otherwise it just looks ridiculous. I actually kind of think that it's gonna make the military just look stupid. Otherwise, I'm excited to see it because it's a superhero movie. So, you're super excited to see it, huh?
Yes, I am. I like anything superhero related. Anything. I think it's so fun. I like things that are like fantasy or like magical. It's anything in that realm. And I feel like superheroes fit into that too. It's like beyond what humans are capable, or are they?
Well, yeah, we'll see, because Brie Larson has a super Air Force suit, so maybe she can be like an Iron Man, but for women.
You don't like it when people are named superheroes if all they did was buy fancy things.
Yeah, I talked to Special Operator, and I mean, he's pretty much a superhero by the standards of if you got cool gear and you like save people and beat up bad guys, then by all those standards, he's a superhero.
Yeah, like I feel like those teenagers that saved that kid from falling off of that ski lift had a moment of like being a superhero. Like they were like able to be like, what could we possibly do? And
save lives.
They became so creative and just like made it happen. That's like a moment of it.
That's fair. I like that. You heard it here first. Superheroes exist.
Sorry, I was confusing there.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay, take a selfie.
You didn't even get the cinema sign in the background.
Not yet.
Look it. It's dirty. Uh-oh.
You guys have a good day.
Oh, yay! You guys are going to be in Theater 5.
Following you.
Following you.
Watch out for that guy.
Woo. That was a good one. That was a good one.
All right. What do you think?
I thought it was good.
Oh crap! I need my
What?
Where are my glasses? Okay, so you thought it was good?
I thought it was good. You see this guy? We're allowed to do like tons of spoilers, right?
Oh yeah, spoiler alerts.
Alert!
Spoiler alert! You get so fucking pumped for superhero movies, and this one you're just gonna give me, I thought it was good.
Yes. That is exactly what I'm gonna give you. It's not really fair to Captain Marvel because all the other characters, it was like building up to Infinity War. So you were like learning all about them and stuff. But in Infinity War, we learn about like Captain Marvel.
The forgotten superhero.
Exactly. And so it's like, you know, the whole time. You're like, well, you know she's gonna be okay. And she's gonna show up at the end for Fury. So, you know, it's like, okay, I can tell you something. My favorite thing about the movie was that there wasn't one joke about like, oh, you hit like a girl. Like it's like there was a phase where movies where girls were badass, where the other thing to do in the movie was make it like so obvious, like, oh, can you believe she's doing it even though she's a girl? And now we're like on to the next phase where it's just badassery.
Okay.
Which I like better.
You know what I like about her more than I like about...
Don't say Wonder Woman.
No, Iron Man.
Okay. Oof. That was gonna get rough.
You know what I like about her more than I like about Iron Man?
What?
She actually has superpowers. I love that little Easter egg that they named him Goose.
I never seen Top
Goose
Gun.
was in Top Gun, and he was the guy in the back seat that ejected and then hit his head and died. So he was the co-pilot.
I've never seen Top Gun. So I don't know what you're talking about.
The storyline was this woman that was developing secret planes for the Air Force, and her laboratory was up in the like her own space station with aliens, which that was kind of cool. The AI that they would like go into and then like I thought it was amazing when they opened with her bleeding blue. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a true Air Force movie. That was a thing that they used to say in the Air Force. Like, if you're overly Air Force, if you're like all about being in the Air Force, then they say that you bleed blue.
Why?
Because it's in your blood. Like, it's who
blue
you are.
The color of the Air Force?
Yes.
Good to know.
What's her name again? Captain
Captain Marvel. I thought you meant
But
the
it's not
actress.
Marvel, it's
Marvel.
Marvel. Whatever. Did you notice that they named, like she was like calling in on her telecommunicator and she was like, Star Command, come in? Like Buzz Lightyear.
She did that?
Yeah, I think it was like Star Command pretty much, but that was the name of the command that she was trying to call into.
Really?
Yes!
No.
Yes.
I don't know if that's real.
I have Buzz Lightyear on my arm. I noticed all the Buzz Lightyear references. Would you go see it again? Like for a second time?
I wouldn't go see anything really for a second time.
Did you like the part where it was just going through her memories and they were like talking about like, you liked that?
I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you didn't like? Other than
Yes.
her shoes?
Yes. Okay, there were so many scenes where people would be like marching at her like they were gonna shoot her, and then they just wouldn't ever shoot, and then she'd like walk up to them and punch them, and it's like there's many things that are unrealistic in that movie, but if people are pointing guns, like they'll shoot if you're gonna approach, and then they just don't, and they wait there until you walk up to them and punch them.
Yeah.
Like it just loses the, like, for me, I like wasn't as much into the movie during those scenes because I was like, yeah, it doesn't seem that hard to walk up to a bunch of people who don't move and punch them.
Yeah.
As much as hard.
So she wasn't as badass as you thought?
No, she was way more badass than I thought.
Oh, yeah? You
Yeah.
thought she was a super badass?
I thought she was a super badass. Yeah, she took multiple nuclear weapons and just turned them around. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty badass. I can't do that.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there anything you didn't like about it? It's hard, right? It was pretty good. I mean, after seeing Aquaman.
I don't know. I actually thought it was mediocre, really. I would not go see it a second time. I would probably watch it with you, like, to recap right before we went and saw,
Infinity War?
Infinity War's Dose or whatever.
Final
Countdown.
No, it's not called Final Countdown. What's it called?
Days of Future Past.
No. Isn't that an
That's-
X-Men movie?
Yeah.
I love X-Men movies.
Yeah, I would recap it with you, but honestly, I just wasn't. It felt a little disjointed at times, and for me, there was, I don't know, the plot felt a little muddled almost. That might be a weird word to use, but
They fit a lot into that movie for
the
sure.
whole
They didn't develop her relationship with him enough. They didn't develop her relationship with her best friend enough. They didn't, like, all of the things that were supposed to motivate her and draw her and whatever. It was just kind of hard because you weren't like, you didn't really know, like, when someone's like, oh, that's their best friend, you're like, okay. They didn't build that relationship with us very well, I don't think.
yeah.
Especially not with Jude Law. Like, she's supposed to feel betrayed like never before in the situation with him, and we're like, okay, but was, like, he in her life a lot, or?
It was good. I'm glad that we went and saw it. The military aspect of it just felt like all fiction. There wasn't any aspect of it that I was like, Oh, I could see that happening.
I was kind of glad though. They kind of steered like away from it being like, this is how it is in the military. They were like, we were doing our own. I would say that it was good, but to me, a lot of my favorite movies are Marvel movies, and this is not one of my.
One thing that I really liked about that movie, I actually thought the CGI in this was
really
phenomenal.
good. Yeah,
I thought the animation in this was amazing.
Yeah.
I actually thought, like,
plot
I was
was pretty
reflecting
good,
on the
too.
entire thing, and I thought there was like a level of polish that it didn't have that Iron Man had.
Yeah.
That I couldn't figure out what exactly that polish was, and I think honestly it was just the dialogue. I think it was the writing that they said things that
It was like, oh, this guy's now that this guy and this guy's over here and that person died and this is there, and so it's just her, and then Fury comes in really halfway through to be with her, and all the other things are like separate, you know?
Do you want to say the sign off this time?
That's it. Goodbye. When they introduced who the bad guys were,
Yeah.
I actually was kind of like, gosh, this is like the umpteenth movie that the bad guys are the less human looking. And I was like, it would be cool if they had it be the reverse. That would be better. And then they did. And I was like, that's so good. That's
So you
good.
didn't see that coming?
I hoped it would happen though.
Yeah, I saw it coming too.
Yeah, why? Why did we see that coming?
Everything was predictable. Everything was
Maybe
predictable.
we're too old.
What?
We can see it all coming from a mile
I'm on the
away.
YouTubes. I'm not old. Thanks for watching. This is Regular Veteran. My name's Scott. I'll see you on the internet. Yeah, you want to say one more thing?
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
do.
You say one more thing.
I love Marvel movies the most.